Hey, awesome people. Welcome back. Mr. C here with you for another fractions video. Make sure if you learn anything new at all, click that like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. This video, we are going to be subtracting mixed numbers with like denominators using the standard strategies. Okay, this is going to be the teaching video. Also, you'll find in the description below a lot of things that we have covered for 4th grade, 3rd grade, and 2nd grade fractions. You can check out all of those playlists in the description below. This video here is going to be building off of what we already know about subtracting fractions and what we've already done when we have subtracted mixed numbers using models. This video, again, we are going to subtract mixed numbers with like denominators using the common strategies teaching video. Let's get started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, make sure you have a growth mindset, meaning that you're going to use your mistakes to help you get better, because when we make mistakes, our brain actually grows. You're going to challenge yourself, and you're not going to give up, okay? So what we're going to be doing here in this video is we're going to kind of show you the standard way of solving these types of problems. And if you were to ask anybody older than you, this is probably the way that they're going to show you. And so parents, teachers, whenever you are kind of going through this type of skill with your students, make sure they have an understanding of what this looks like, okay? Watch our models video for subtracting mixed numbers, because being able to see what that looks like is really important. These strategies I'm going to show you here are awesome strategies and they're really efficient, but make sure that your students know what it looks like to actually subtract it, okay? And you can find those videos in the description below, okay? So here we go. I've broken my screen into two sections because I've got two different ways I want to show you to solve this problem. We've got 4 4/5 minus 1 1/5. And the first thing I'm noticing is that both denominators for both mixed numbers are the same. And that's good to know, because that means that we can jump into subtraction. So the first way I'm going to show you over here on the left is kind of a way that it's a great strategy. I have students like to use both ways. It's not my go-to strategy for solving, but it is an efficient way. So let me show you. What we're going to do here is I'm just going to rewrite it. So I'm going to rewrite 4 4/5 minus 1 1/5. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of rearrange this problem, because technically what we have here is we have 4 plus 4/5 minus 1 plus 1/5. Okay, this is technically what we have, because we remember what we've learned before is that a mixed number is a whole number and a fraction added together. Okay, that's what it actually means. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rearrange this problem. Okay, I'm going to rearrange this problem because why? The reason we can rearrange this problem, 4 plus 4/5 minus 1 plus 1/5, is because of some of the different properties that we've learned, okay? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to put the whole numbers together and the fractions together, okay? So what we're going to have is we're going to have 4 minus 1, okay? 4 minus 1 plus 4/5 minus 1/5. Okay, and you'll see where we're getting all this information from. What we're doing is we're taking 4 plus 4/5 minus 1 plus 1/5. Okay, it's kind of what we're doing here. And so this is kind of a way that we're going to solve it. So watch this. What we're going to do is we're going to do 4 minus 1. So what is 4 minus 1? Well, that's 3. And we're going to add 4/5 minus 1/5. Okay, so then we're going to take 4/5 minus 1/5. I'm going to scroll down a little bit here for us. So what is 4/5 minus 1/5? Well, 3 plus If we subtract 4/5 minus 1/5, that gives us 3/5. Get rid of that addition symbol because we don't usually write it like that. And we're getting an answer of 3 3/5. So whenever we take 4 4/5 and we subtract 1 1/5, this is the answer we're getting. Okay, this is one strategy to solve. Now let me show you the strategy that I really like to use. Okay, the strategy that I really like to use looks like this. What you're going to do is set this up kind of like a subtraction problem that you're used to doing. Okay, so you're going to take your whole number and you're going to take your fraction and we're going to write them just like we would really with other subtraction problems. I'm going to put the whole numbers and line them up, and I'm going to line up the fractions. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to start off by subtracting the fractions first. Okay, so 4/5 minus 1/5 is, well, 4 minus 1, because we subtract the numerators, is 3. Do we subtract the denominators? No. Remember, we never, ever subtract the denominators. That stays as a 5, so that's 4 minus 1 was 3. Denominators stay the same, so there's 3/5. Now subtract your whole numbers. 4 minus 1 is 3. And there's your answer, 3 3/5. Either strategy, I'll zoom out here, either strategy will get you the same answer. Okay? Some people love doing the strategy here on the left. Some people enjoy doing the strategy on the right. Teachers, parents, I highly recommend you kind of let your students try both ways. They'll find out which one works best for them. And the more challenging problems we do, they may find they like one strategy more than the other. Okay? This problem, students, I know a lot of times students are like, oh, Mr. C, I'm going to do the strategy on the right. That was way more efficient. I understood that way better. I hear you. But I recommend trying both. Okay? Just because my strategy over here on the right didn't take as much time doesn't mean that it always is the best strategy. That's why I want to show you both. Okay, does that make sense? So with all that being said, let's try another one together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's try another one here. So we've got 3 2/4 minus 1 1/4. And again, I'm going to show you both strategies that we just did. I'm going to start over here on the left, and what we're going to do is rewrite this so we have it right in front of us. So we have 3 2/4 minus 1 1/4. First thing I'm noticing about these two mixed numbers is that both mixed numbers, their denominators are the same in the fractions. So that's good news. We can jump straight into it. So here we go. Let's rearrange this problem here. So we've got 3 plus 2/4 minus 1 plus 1/4. So let's do some rearranging. Let's put the whole numbers together. So that's going to be 3 minus 1. And then we are going to, whoops, I wanted to rewrite that. Give me a second. I want to make sure I'm writing in the correct colors here. So we've got 3 minus 1, because those are our whole numbers. Okay, you following me? 3 and the 1. And then we're going to be adding after we subtract these two fractions. So to do that, let's put our two fractions down. That's going to be 2/4 minus what? 2/4 minus 1/4. Okay. Hopefully this is helping. I want to make sure I keep the colors the same so you can see what's going on. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got 3 minus 1 plus 2/4 minus 1/4. So let's go ahead and subtract those whole numbers. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Now we're going to add these fractions here. So we're going to add after we subtract them. I keep getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry about that, y'all. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract these fractions. So we've got 2 plus whatever these fractions are. 2/4 minus 1/4. Well, what's 2 minus 1? That's 1. Do not subtract the denominators. They stay the same. And so here we go. We're getting our answer right here of 2 1/4. Okay, there's our answer. Make it where you can see it a little bit better. Here's our answer right down here, 2 1/4. What we did, we took 3 2/4, 1 1/4, and we kind of sorted it, okay? We used some of the properties we know. We've used some of these associative properties, distributive properties, things like that to be able to help us rearrange this item to be able to answer it. Because what we did is we put the whole numbers together and we subtracted them. We put the fractions together and we subtracted them, and we got our final answer of 2 1/4, okay? Now, let me show you the same thing, but a different strategy. We've got 3 2/4 minus 1 1/4. First things first, subtract the fractions. So 2/4 minus 1/4. 2 minus 1 is 1. Remember, subtract the numerators. Do not subtract the denominators. They stay the same. Now subtract the whole numbers. 3 minus 1 gives us 2. Either strategy we use here gives us the same exact answer. And again, students, don't just choose this strategy on the right because it was way, 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 way quicker. Okay? Make sure you're trying both ways, because later on in your math careers, you're going to need to know how to do this strategy on the left. Okay? Make sure you're doing both. Teachers, make sure they're trying both. Okay? Ultimately, we want them to get the correct answer. So if they're getting this one here and they're mastering it, and you've got students that are getting their answers correct, say, awesome, great job, super, super nice work. Now, challenge yourself. Do the other strategy, okay? Make sure they're trying both strategies. Remember, that's really important. If you're struggling with all of this, go back to our models video. Go back to our subtracting mixed numbers using models video. Make sure you understand what it looks like to subtract mixed numbers, all right? Lots of good things here. Nice work with all of this. Make sure, if you're ready, try our practice problems video. It is linked in the description below. Try some of those. Let's give it a little bit of more hard work and see if we can master this skill. Remember, if you learned anything new, click that like and subscribe button. Join us as we continue making math understandable and challenging. That's all I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. C, out.